You know what's been bothering me? This Scarlet Witch gets her display, but not the Scarlet Witch from the Multiverse of Madness. Madness! Hello, this is Ken. I like making things. I like making things out of paper, and I like making things cooler. Especially my figures. Sometimes figures don't look all that screen accurate. All they need is a bit of touch-up here and there to unleash their hidden potential. I also love using everyday tools and materials to recreate iconic scenes from my figures, so they can shine on my display. Subscribe to my channel and join my DIY adventure as I ask myself the same question every week. Can I make it? Last week, I made my own custom Death Strange using a knockoff figure. It turned out so cool. One of my favorites. Check it out if you haven't already. Speaking of favorites, here's my other custom Scarlet Witch. This is one of my favorite customs. I actually did this before the movie came out. There were minimal references back then. It actually turned out mostly accurate, except maybe it's a bit on the purple side. I wasn't sure if the suit was purple or black, and I went with purple because it's always easier to make it more black versus making it more purple. To be fair, the suit does look purplish from afar. It's just how our eyes perceive the black and red suit, optically blending the two colors into purple. I'm gonna update the figure a little bit by darkening her shoulders. I still don't want it to be completely black. I'm going for that gradient look, and a little bit of black on the torso and a bit more black on the bottom of her cape, to give her that corrupted look. As for the face, the crown just needs a bit of touch-up. I kinda missed the edges of the crown the first time, and in the movie, her crown sometimes looks very dark, so I'm gonna darken mine slightly too. Okay, here she is. Okay, not much has changed. It's fine. She's still perfect in my eyes. On to the display. This is the maximum size I could fit into my display cabinet. It's a decent size. I like the large wall space. Perfect for Wundagore. So let's see. Wundagore has these giant columns and the little podium in the middle, and I want Wanda to stand on the podium. Scale-wise that looks good, but the columns look too wide. Let me cut them in half. And add an arch to the top. Ooh, okay, I'm happy with that. Time to create the actual design with these measurements. Starting with the tall arch. And the hexagonal podium. I'm gonna add a base to the podium. And these will go onto the floor and the wall. And bam! There it is. This is gonna be epic. Got everything printed. Man, this is a huge stack. Cut, cut, cut. And fold all the tabs. Repeat the process a couple more times. And glue them together. And repeat the same steps for the opposite side. And I just gotta connect the two. Hiya! There. Now onto the wall. It's too big for my printer, so I divide it into 4 pieces. And let me cast my chaos magic. There. Speaking of chaos magic, the Scarlet Witch herself. I was able to recreate the entire set on Photoshop except for the statue. Fortunately, Johnny Moore, the actual sculptor, posted some behind the scenes photos of his work. That actually looks pretty good as a print. Hiya! Ooh, it looks more 3D than I thought. Nice. Just gotta do the floor now. Boop. 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 Yeah. And last but not least, the podium. I love that it's hexagonal. So much easier to cut and fold. The folds are minimal and the structure is still pretty rigid, especially at this scale. I don't need to cross my fingers and hope I glue the right tabs. Okay, all it needs is the base. Ta-da! And here's a lid to make it more dramatic. And here it is, Wundagore in all his glory. Scarlet Witch's throne. It still looks a bit bare, so let me add some final touches. Here's a repurposed column from my Age of Ultron display. It's a bit small for Wundagore, so let me snap it in half. And now you can't tell they were too small. Just a couple more pieces of debris to make it look more abandoned. And there we go. It's a beauty. There's this grand yet haunting feel to this display. Normally my displays look slightly out of scale, but I think this one looks pretty good. Probably because the wall is so tall. You know what? I want to add a bit of a challenge. I want to sculpt the statue myself. After all, it is the most essential part of Wundagore. I have this extra print of the statue here. It actually had a printing issue, as you can see near the bottom. I was gonna throw this away, but now I can use this as my blueprint to make sure my sculpture is the exact same size. Okay, I've always wanted to try this but never got the chance. I'm gonna build the frame with some wires, in this case paper clips, and use aluminum foil to build the general shape of the statue. This is surprisingly not as stressful as I thought. Probably because the foil is pretty easy to shape. Okay, I got the overall shape down. Time to mold the rest with air dry clay. Alright, many minutes later, I got the entire statue covered. And it's still the right shape. Whew. Time to add the details. Let me give her a face. Okay, this is the moment I realize I don't have the right tools. I'm using the back of my brush to create indents for her eye sockets. That doesn't look right. Be right back. Okay, it's getting worse. How do people do this? Be right back again. I kinda gave up with the head. It's gonna look a bit off, but it's fine. It's a statue. It can look slightly off. If I can get the rest right, I can draw the attention away from the face. I'm slightly worried about her dress cracking. Air dry clay tends to be brittle, so I'm gonna make sure there's as much contact as possible. Despite me not having the right tools, I find that air dry clay is actually not too difficult to shape. I dip this brush with a bit of water, and I can use this to manipulate the clay to smooth things out or blend pieces together. Okay, I'm gonna work on it a bit more off camera. Here's the body all finished. Okay, I know it kinda looks like a cheap knockoff. The face may haunt me for life. But from afar, it's not too bad, right? Right? Okay, I think the hair may be able to save this. I'm gonna use the printout as a guide again, to shape those wavy curls of hers. And then I'm gonna carve some lines into the hair. Let's see. Ooh, that kinda works. But before I attach the main piece onto the hair, I'm gonna add a bit more clay behind the head to make sure everything's connected properly. This area is gonna be prone to snapping and cracking. There we go. And last but not least, her crown. I'm gonna make this a little thicker than it's supposed to be. Otherwise, I don't think it'll survive. The Scarlet Witch must have her crown. Oh, it kinda looks like the Batarang. Alright, here we go. Oh, it doesn't look as bad now. Kinda looks like the real thing. A bit. Okay, this project is taking a bit longer than I expected, so I'm gonna speed up the drying process by baking the clay. Please don't crack, please don't crack, please don't crack. Here's the statue fully cured. Surprisingly, it only cracked at the knees. Everything else survived. Nice. Alright, time to paint. I'm gonna mix myself a grey, with a bit of green added to it. Let's see how it looks. The grey's a bit on the cool side, but it's okay. This is just the base layer. I can always add more colors over this. I just need the entire statue covered first. Now that the statue is all covered, I'm gonna add a wash of this tan color all over to warm up the color. I'm still a bit worried that it may crack, so I'm gonna apply a layer of matte varnish to seal the paint and stiffen the clay a bit. Alright, everything has dried. Let me add a bit of shading to make the statue look more three-dimensional. Here's the background without the statue. Let me glue the statue on it. The moment of truth. Oh, please don't judge the backside. No one's gonna see it in the end. That's why it looks like this. Please stick, please stick. Okay, I waited an entire day to make sure the glue is fully dried. And it's not coming off. Yay! This is awesome. Move it, Wanda. Wundagore is about to get an upgrade. Let's see if I can beat gravity. Please don't fall, please don't fall, please don't fall. Okay, this is gonna work. Now all I have to do is glue it onto the display, starting with the arch. The arch will provide more structure to keep it upright and from peeling off the wall. Oh man, look at that. It actually looks like a real statue. And you can't see the unpainted backside. Okay, just don't look at the face. Okay, gluing it onto the wall. Done. Let's put everything back. I am so excited. This project took too much time to make, but I'm so glad I did this. The statue isn't perfect, especially the face, but I can proudly say I did it. And it's a show stealer. There's just something about DIY that feels so satisfying. Now all there's left is the witch herself. It's perfect. This is perfection. I've made quite a few diorama displays now. This one isn't the most interesting visually, but it's one of my top 3 favorite displays. Wanda's maroon color theme pops against a cool muted background, so she doesn't get overshadowed even though she's alone in this huge space. And maybe I'm biased, but I genuinely think this is so epic. Wanda is just doing her typical Wanda pose, and all I have to do is to move the camera around and it oozes epicness. I couldn't stop filming the display, so enjoy this montage. Oh, to make Wanda more dangerous, I'm gonna give her the Darkhold. She's gonna end the multiverse and no one will be able to stop her. Maybe she'll find her children too. And Vision. She kinda forgot about Vision for some reason. Okay, let's end this with the photoshoot. Let's start with the wide shot. It's so nice. I love the statue on the wall so much. Yeah, the face kinda not quite right, but I think there's enough distraction around it to pull the attention away. The best thing is, I find my eyes moving back and forth between the statue and Wanda herself. And in a good way too. Because Wanda is brighter and overall has a warmer tone, she doesn't get overshadowed by the statue. And the statue adds the sense of scale to the entire display, making Wundagore the ultimate Scarlet Witch shrine. What do you think? Do you like what I've done? Let me know down below. Give this video a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Maybe I'll add more characters to this display. There's still quite a bit of room left. But I do want to make sure Scarlet Witch gets to shine on her own first. This is her throne after all. She deserves her moment. Now I have a display for both Scarlet Witches. Anyway, thanks for watching. As always, stay inspired and I'll see you next week. I can make it, so can you. Hey, you can now support me on Patreon. I post quite regularly there, from behind the scenes updates to sneak peeks to video breakdowns. Top tier members will receive a DIY 3D mini poster every month. These mini posters look great by themselves, but even cooler next to other mini posters. I love making things, and this is my way to thank my supporters. The link to my Patreon is in the description box down below.